Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, Dane Reads. Okay, well today I'm coming to you guys with a book tag. Sorry, I just flashed my notebook where I have everything written down. I've been watching some other booktubers recently that I haven't really known about before, and one of those booktubers that I found was Books with Emily Fox. I just wanted to make sure I got her name right. And I saw that she did a book tag called It's Finally Fall. It seemed really fun and I wanted to try it. I wanted to be making more videos and I wanted kind of an easier video to get back into making videos, you know, kind of ease myself back into the process. So we'll be doing a book tag today. I know that normally when you make a book tag, you tag people at the end, but I don't have very many people to tag, and so I just wanted to do my tags up front. So the only person that I want to officially tag is Dane from Dane Reads. He's my best little booktube friend. He's over in the UK. Never actually met, but ever since I started my channel, he's always been commenting and leaving really positive and uplifting feedback, and I'm really grateful for him and for his input into my channel. And he's tagged me in several book tags before, and I never got around to making those book tags, and so I wanted to tag him in this. And if you happen to be watching this video and you want an excuse to do this book tag, you want to tag yourself, go ahead and say I tagged you. That's just fine with me. So the first question in this tag is, in fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. And for this, I chose The Shining by Stephen King and then the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, obviously. So I think Harry Potter's pretty obvious. If you've read it, you know, it's set at Hogwarts, this beautiful castle in the UK, and it's very atmospheric. It's obviously, yeah, a very vivid setting. If you read it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I also chose The Shining by Stephen King, which is the book that I'm currently reading, because it's set in a hotel and there's kind of these hauntings that are going on, and the main characters are snowed in because they are stuck in this hotel and they can't leave. A lot of description goes into the hotel and what the hotel is like, and so it's very easy to picture in your mind this setting. So that's why I went with The Shining. The second question, or not, I guess not question, but I guess that's what I'll call them. The second question of the book tag is, nature is beautiful but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written but also deals with a heavy topic. And for this, I chose two books once again. The first book is Miss Burma, and if you go check out my, what's it called? I Have a Responsibility to Learn challenge, then you will see what I mean. It's very beautifully written, a beautiful, compelling story, but deals with a lot of heavy topics. A lot of content warnings for that book. And then the other book that I chose was actually a book that I read years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, and that is All the Light We Cannot See, and that's by Anthony Doerr, I believe. I don't really know how you say his name, but that's a book about World War II. It's historical fiction. It follows the perspective of a blind girl from France and then a boy who's being recruited into Hitler's army, and kind of their journeys and how they end up meeting and their lives are intertwined, how their lives are intertwined, I guess. And that has some of the most beautiful prose that I have ever had the pleasure of reading, but also an extremely sad book. But I would definitely recommend checking it out. Okay, the next question, I guess, is fall is back to school season. Share a nonfiction book that taught you something new. And as I was thinking about this one, I realized I really didn't have anything to say because I don't read nonfiction. So I couldn't think of any nonfiction books that I had read besides textbooks from school, and that seemed dumb, so I'm just gonna say the Bible, which is also maybe a dumb answer. The next question is, in order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with the people we love. Name a fictional family, household, or friend group that you would like to be a part of. And I know this is probably the answer that everybody would give, and it's really obvious, but I would definitely say the Weasleys, because they just seem so cozy and like a wonderful family to be a part of. And I think that I would want to be, I mean, I'd always want to be a part of the Weasley clan, but especially after Harry marries Ginny and Hermione marries Ron, because then we could just all be best friends and I'd be best friends with the main trio. Oh, I also wouldn't mind being part of Dumbledore's army, because Order of the Phoenix is my favorite Harry Potter book, and I think that Dumbledore's army is pretty cool, so I would love to be a part of that. And if I were a little older, the Order of the Phoenix. They're basically the same thing. and they're both really cool. The next question is, I don't know why I'm calling them questions, but I don't know what else to call them. The colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall-colored spines. So I'm gonna go get my books. I tried to make a pile of fall-colored spines. I don't really have any purple books, except I guess this unofficial Harry Potter cookbook right back there, but it's too late. I already made my stack. So it's kind of ugly, but I'll show you. Ta-da! It's like too big for right here. So I have The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh, which I just purchased today. I haven't read it yet. Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. The Lantern's Ember, another one that I just purchased today. This is by Colleen Hawk? I don't know how you say her name. She's the same lady who wrote Tiger's Curse, which is a series that I read when I was younger and really loved. Then let's see, we also have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This is a book I'm reading for a book club, and I'll be doing a reading vlog of my experience reading this book. I've read it before and love it. And then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which of course I love. I have like a million videos about this. Dracula, The Picture of Dorian Gray. Ooh. This is a collection of short stories by Henry James, but The Turn of the Screw is in there. And then Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And I just picked this one because it's orange. I can't even think of my colors, but there's kind of my ugly little stack. Okay, the next question is, fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireplace. Share a book wherein somebody is telling a story. There's a lot of books I feel like that could fit this like question, category, challenge, whatever these are called. I don't know what to call like these questions. But I chose The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, one of the books that I just really had in my stack. Like I said, The Turn of the Screw is a short story. There's actually a movie, I'm pretty sure, that's being made about The Turn of the Screw. It's like loosely based off of it, I guess. It has Mike from Stranger Things in it. It's called The Turning. But The Turn of the Screw is actually really good. It's a classic like horror story. It's about this governess, I'm pretty sure it's about this governess who goes and she's over 2 children and she starts to have some supernatural things happen, but she's not sure if the supernatural is actually involved or if she's just losing her mind and going crazy. It's been a while since I read this, but if I remember correctly, if you know that Christmas song that's like, there'll be scary ghost stories of Christmases long, long ago, I'm pretty sure this starts with a bunch of people sitting around and telling scary stories on Christmas. I may be wrong, but I know people are sitting around telling scary stories, and I think that's the setting. And then somebody tells the governess's story in the story of Turn of the Screw, if that makes any sense. But it's a very good read. I'd recommend picking it up. It's super short as well. Okay, the next question is, the nights are getting darker. Share a creepy read. And I have several different ideas for this one. I said The Shining, which like I said, I'm reading right now. I will make a full-on video of my experience of reading this and talk about The Shining and Stephen King and my thoughts on why I hate them. But they are creepy, so recommend that for a creepy read, I guess. Also, Lord of the Flies is very creepy to me. If you don't know, it's about this plane full of young boys who crash land on an island and they have to build their own civilization and things don't go super well. That's a really creepy read as well, just kind of the implications. But I think a perfect October like creepy read that's creepy and makes you think but is still somewhat cozy and not too disturbing is The Picture of Dorian Gray. I read this last summer and I actually really enjoyed it. It's a little bit strange, but I would highly recommend it. Once again, not too long. So this is a story about Dorian Gray, and he's supposed to be extremely handsome and like beautiful to look at, and he has somebody paint this picture of him when he's in his prime. And so he has this beautiful, like, large picture of him that he keeps in his home. Slowly, as Dorian recognizes his beauty, it starts to corrupt him, and he starts to make really poor choices. And kind of, you know, to use Christian vernacular, he starts to sin. And as he sins, his picture slowly and slowly gets ugly and transforms so that his outside self looks like his inside self. And so it's really creepy and psychological and just all around a really good read. A little weird, like I said, but I loved it. The next question is, the days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. And I'm kind of laughing as I read that one because I chose and Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which I never stop talking about. And I'm laughing because it says pick something that's like short and heartwarming. This is a very short book. I don't know that it's necessarily heartwarming. In fact, I know that it's not, because it's about people dying and it's a murder mystery. But for me, it is the perfect rainy day read. It's very creepy, spooky, but really fun and cozy, and it is a murder mystery, but nothing about it is gory or scary. I think I mentioned this before, but yeah, I have a review on it. I'll link that somewhere. But basically, this is just a story about 10 strangers who get stranded on an island, and they start dying one by one, and they're trying to figure out why. So if you're looking for a spooky October read on a cold and rainy day, definitely this one. But it will not be heartwarming. Okay, our next question is, fall returns every year. Name an old favorite you'd like to return to. And for this, I picked, I think, 4 books. So the first that I said was The Hunger Games. I was actually just at my parents' house this weekend, and I saw The Hunger Games sitting on my old bookshelf. I had to pick them up and bring them back up to my new apartment with me, because I was like, oh, I really want to get back to these books. So I don't know when I'll get back to them, but I feel like I want to reread them. Then the other books that I was thinking of, I wrote down The Reckoning, which is by Kelly Armstrong, I think. I read those books in like middle school, but all I remember is that there's this girl who wants to go into film, and she ends up going to this like special school, and there's a lot of different monsters. I feel like somebody's a werewolf, and I don't know, it's a series. There are several books. I don't really remember what happens. I just remember it was very immersive, and I was very involved in those books when I was reading them, and so I kind of want to reread them to remember what they're about. And if you just heard that little snort, that was my husband, who is like sitting on the couch watching me film this and making me feel really awkward. So sorry if I'm being awkward. Also, the 2 other books that I want to reread, one is The Forest of Hands and Teeth, which is a really awesome trilogy, I think, and those stories center around zombies, and they're really spooky, and I don't remember them. And then the other one is The Tiger's Curse by Colleen Hook, or Hawker, I don't know how you say her name, but the same lady who wrote The Lantern's Ember, the book that I just got today, which is all about Halloween and like a retelling of Sleepy Hollow. It's basically a story about 2 brothers from India who are princes, and they are turned into tigers, and that's their curse, and they need to break the curse. And it's really good. It's kind of like a fantasy romance, and I loved it when I was a senior in high school. I don't know what I would think of it now, which is kind of why I want to go back to it and reread it, because I used to really love it. And the last question, still a question, I guess, I don't know. I'm so weirded out. I don't know what to call these. But the last question of this book tag is, fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. Mine are pretty simple. I would definitely say a warm drink, so whether it's herbal tea or hot chocolate. I love a cozy drink. I love to have like a soft blanket to cuddle up with. I love fuzzy socks. I wear socks all the time. I'm like never without them, and I love fuzzy socks most of all, so when I'm reading I want to be cozy. Yeah, the only other thing for me really is to have a candle. Especially if it's fall, I like to have a nice candle going on in the background, like a pumpkin scent or something. Of course, I do love to read in the bath, so taking a cozy bath and reading, and then getting out and being in my pajamas and having socks and a blankie and a candle and tea and all those things, that's kind of like the ideal reading scenario for me. Yeah, just lots of cozy things. So anyway, that has been my edition, I guess, of the It's Finally Fall book tag. I had so much fun making this tag. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to make this video and nobody has tagged you, then go ahead and say that I tagged you, because I think if you want to make this video, then you should go ahead and do it, because nobody tagged me either. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video really soon. Bye, guys!